Welcome back. So, eradicating poverty in South Africa is at the forefront of the Government of National Unity's policy agenda over the next 5 years. That's the promise made by President Cyril Ramaphosa in his annual address to the National Council of Provinces today. Latashia Naidoo reports.
President Cyril Ramaphosa says the high cost of living is keeping most of the countries vulnerable in generational cycles of poverty. He's vowed that the Government of National Unity will prioritize these problems through a collaborative and integrated approach.
While these parties differ on many issues, and differ they do, in terms of their histories, their principles, their policies, they have, however, committed to work for inclusive growth and accelerated job creation. They have committed themselves to reduce poverty in our country and to tackle the high cost of living. As well as to advance these priorities, the parties to this Government of National Unity have committed themselves to build a capable, ethical and developmental state.
He adds that recognition needs to be given to provincial structures that are proactively dealing with inequality and high unemployment. The Eastern Cape Premier is calling for the contentious National Health Insurance and Basic Education Laws Amendment Acts to be implemented, despite objections by some Government of National Unity members.
The provision of primary health care services closer to where our people reside is also reducing the burden of high cost of living because they are no longer traveling to urban centers to access hospitals. The 7th administration is continuing on the work that has been started in the 6th administration of adding more hospitals in our rural areas. Currently building Bambisane Hospital in Lusikisiki at 600 million, Zitulele Hospital in Mkanduli, Xhosa Boundaries at 1 billion, and Madwaleni Hospital in Xhosa at 560 million. We are calling for the full implementation, Mr. President, of the Bella Bill and NHI, as these policies will contribute to reducing costs of living for majority of citizens and better access to education and health services.
Parties who are part of the GNU are calling for a clean break from the past.
Poverty remains entrenched, and the rising cost of living is choking millions of households. If we are to chart a path forward, we must break free from the failures of the past and embrace a better way of governance, one rooted in accountability, clean government, and tangible results. This can be realized with cooperation between the ANC and the DA under the newly established GNU. We need builders, Honourable President, and not breakers, to ensure that unity prevails, which will benefit all of our citizens. Unfortunately, the ANC's economic failures are well documented. The unemployment rate sits at a record high, with almost half of South Africans unable to find work.
In municipalities that do not have load reduction, yes, we've been without load shedding for 247 days today, but the damage has already been done. Recent findings showed that approximately 75% of all small to medium-sized businesses fail due to production killers like load shedding. A recent study on the results of load shedding on some small businesses in the Colin Shabane local municipality in Limpopo showed that there was an estimated loss of 61% of income on those days that have electricity. And Colin Shabane is a small municipality in comparison. What will those losses be if looking at a city like Johannesburg, and how will it impact unemployment, or employment rather?
The official opposition is calling on government to do more to help the poor.
Mr. President, the social relief grant was a great idea, but may I ask if your beloved pets at home could survive with just 370 rands a month? The amount your government deems sufficient for an adult to live in this country.
Ramaphosa's address comes days before the country assumes the G20 presidency, which will be themed solidarity, equality, and sustainability. The government is hoping to use the platform to encourage members to stand in solidarity with South Africans burdened by poverty and inequality. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Latashia Naidoo in Parliament, Cape Town.